Hey y'all, Rick Sky here, and I want to talk about the Beats Solo 4 that I've got here. I was charging it up with USB-C, but I want to talk about the Beats Solo 4 after my first day using them. So I picked these up because of the price, and by the way, expand this video's description and click the link there and you can find where to order them online. But I picked them up because of the price, and I didn't really have super high expectations when I made the purchase decision. But the fact that it's an Apple product, it's Beats by Dre. If you don't know, Beats by Dre is an Apple brand. So it's you're getting cool things like Find My, in this case, Find My Beats Solo 4. If you use the Find My app for your Apple devices, this has Find My built into it as well. So if you misplace them, you can potentially find them using my Find My app on your iPhone. But that's just small stuff. The few things that I want to talk about after using these for a day, and my feedback is unfiltered. You're probably shopping for Beats. You may be shopping for Beats headphones because it's Black Friday, and well, when I'm filming this, it's the night before Black Friday, but you may be shopping anyway, and you're just curious, are they worth buying, and what are my thoughts? And you've probably found a lot of people, because I know when I was researching Beats Solo 4, it was kind of across the board, and there was a lot of seemingly negative commentary, and then there were some reviews that I don't even think the people would put them on their head. So, I mean, I took a stab in the dark and bought these with the hope that they would meet or exceed my expectations, and that's where I'm going to go ahead and tell you these have radically exceeded my expectations, and now I'm going to tell you why. So I wanted something that was well made. Some of the other reviews, they were saying seemingly bad things about this. I feel like these are very well made. They're lightweight, which is nice, and that's what I'm about to talk about now. And it's got it marked here. It says left ear. So there's left ear over there, and here's the right ear. And I'm going to take them off of my ears because of what I'm about to say here. These, when you put them on your ears, these do not have active noise cancellation, ANC. There's a step up from the Beats Solo 4 that has ANC. However, the step up is also over the ear. So what I wanted were headphones that I could put on my ears. But even though they're on my ears, they stay put. Now keep in mind, if you were using these, say you were jogging or some sort of activity where there's a lot of movement, these would potentially stay on your ears. I mean, they fit very well and they're adjustable. You can adjust each side. I've got it just like I want it right now, so I'm not going to adjust them again. But you can even, and for transport, you can fold these up. Look at that. How cool is that? It's got a nice clicky, listen to that, reassuring tactile feel with audible click. So that's super nice. Now, and they come with this case, so you can put them in this super nice carrying case. Hear this zipper action again. Super premium case. You definitely know that you've got an Apple product in your hands when you're handling this. And I haven't even taken the cables out of the wrap. That's a USB-C cable. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that because obviously I'm keeping this headset. Before, when I did my unboxing video, subscribe, check out my Beats Solo 4 unboxing video too. But I didn't take these out of the cardboard because I was afraid that, well, if I don't like these headphones, if they disappoint, I'm going to ship them back. And I'm definitely not shipping them back because they have exceeded my expectations. So you're like, man, well, you keep saying they exceeded your expectations. Well, how do you use these headphones? Oh, and by the way, that I just put in there, that's the audio cable. And one of the cool things you can do with these is you can plug in the audio cable to here and get lossless audio. So you could plug it in and get lossless audio. Also, if you've got them plugged in, you don't even have to have them charged. But the battery life on these things, and again, that's to be tested because I've only been using these for a day, but the battery life on these things is supposed to be ridiculous amount of hours. I don't want to misquote, but well over 24 hours. So, I mean, that's insane. But if you're using the audio cable, even if your Beats Solo 4 is not charged, it doesn't matter because you're using the audio cable. So these come in a variety of different colors. Colors is subjective. As you can tell, I like blue, man. I got on a blue shirt. I got a blue keyboard. I got a blue mouse. I've got a blue thing that I wear when I go walking that's got reflectors on it. So I like blue, but it comes in other colors, and I've linked the Beats Solo 4 Expand this video's description, and click the link there and you can find all the colors. But we're going to talk about why I love these headphones after using them for a day. So I've got a competitor's product, and it's super high-end and premium. And I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. It's the Sonos Ace, and those things are phenomenal. They go around your ear, but even though they go around your ear, they're super comfortable. However, why did I need these Beats Solo 4 headphones if I already had Sonos Ace? Here's why. So my Sonos Ace, I'm going to dedicate those to TV watching with my Sonos soundbars, because you can do a Sonos soundbar swap with those, and I'm going to use those for my TV watching headphones when I don't, you know, when my wife's around and I can't use the soundbar because it's too loud. These are going to be dedicated for two use cases. Use case number one, as you can see here, Final Cut Pro 11. I am Irate Sky, and I operate Irate Sky's Adventure Channel, and I'm a one-person crew. So I do the editing, I do the filming, and I need something to, while I'm editing the videos, to listen and make sure the audio levels are correct. And, you know, if I got a soundtrack going with the voice, want to make sure that everything's balanced. These do a phenomenal job of that. The fact that these are on-ear instead of over-ear, I can comfortably wear these for an extended period of time without getting hot. Because if you've got over-the-ear headphones, especially during warm weather months, if you're using them for an extended period of time, they can get a little bit warm on the ears. And that leads me back to what I was going to say about Beats Solo 4 before I went on this other tangent. You're like, man, you need to hurry up. Your video, you could have done this review in a minute and a half. There's a lot of things that people can rush and do, but I'm going to tell you all the in-depth ins and outs of Beats Solo 4. You know, I wish I had been able to watch this video when I was pondering purchasing Beats Solo 4. So, like I mentioned a moment ago, when I put these on my head and they're on my ears, it's very, I don't want to use the incorrect terminology. I'm taking them off because when you got your ears covered, when you're talking, it sounds funny. But with these on your ears, even though these don't have ANC, the noise cancellation. Now the Beats Studio Pro does have noise cancellation. These do not. But the Studio Pro Beats go over the ear, which is not what I wanted. But even though these sit on the ear, number one, and I've got a big head. I kind of got a big head. But even though I've got a big head, these adjusted and put on my ears, they're comfortable. It doesn't feel tight. It's just enough pressure to where, you know, it can move my head around. I'll show you again. Move my head around, they don't fall off. So depending upon what you're doing while you're wearing the Beats Solo 4, there's a good possibility they'll stay on your head. Now, I'm not taking these on a workout. I'm not taking these to the gym. I'm not going outside and mowing grass with these during hot weather. All I'm going to do is use them for my Final Cut Pro 11 video edits. I'm going to use them to watch YouTube videos. I'm going to use it to watch streaming movies, that sort of stuff when I'm not using my speakers. And so I'm not going to be hot and sweaty. One of the things, and I don't know, like I said, there's some review videos that I've seen of the Beats Solo 4 that I question how authentic they are. Because there were some that I watched and they would have made me run in fear from the possibility of purchasing these Beats Solo 4s. But I'll tell you, the ear cups, they're a very good, feels like a very good material. Now, these are not replaceable, at least not user replaceable, but considering I'm using these indoors, I'm not going to be hot and sweaty. My expectation is that these will hold up at least as long as I'll continue to use these, because like every other piece of tech, there's going to be a newer iteration that'll come out. It's probably going to be better. And, knowing me being a technical type of dude, then I'm probably going to want to buy the newer and better. But these, I feel reasonably confident that these will likely last many years. I mean, I'm not hot, I'm not sweaty, but it is worth asking the question, do you have Beats Solo 4? If so, do you wear them to the gym? Do you wear them to jog, whatever? And how have the ear pads held up? These are not waterproof. These are maybe possibly, don't misquote, I don't want to misquote, possibly slightly water resistant, although I would not get these wet. But if you were using them for a workout, how have the ear pads held up over time? Because they're not user replaceable. I don't have any concerns. Like I said, I'm using them in right here. I mean, in my editing, not my studio. I've got my green screen studio too, but I'm just using them here. And but it feels good. It feels like a fake leather type material with something underneath. It's like I don't want to identify what it is, but it almost feels like a memory foam type mattress that's really soft. So yeah, you don't, although they hold your ears well while they're sitting on your ears, there's not an uncomfortable pressure. And since this headset's so light, in essence, you could go for potentially hours with these on your head and it not become anything that would, because some people like in-ear earbuds or that sort of stuff. I don't like anything in my ear, so on the ear for me is perfect. And they're not hot like an over-the-ear headphone. So now we're going to get into what you're probably curious about too, the audio. Well, before we talk about the audio quality, let's talk about the pairing experience. So I've got an iPhone 17 Pro. All I did is power these on, and the iPhone popped up, said Beats. I think it said Beats Solo 4 Connect, and I clicked Connect, and it connected. So with the current model iPhone, I didn't have to install a Beats app or anything. It just detected it, and it just worked. It worked great, and it let me add it to the Find My for my iPhone. So if I misplace these, potentially I can find where I placed my Beats Solo 4. Also was the, let's see, what was the other thing? It had this option where you could use your iPhone and scan around your head and it would determine what your ears look like. And apparently by knowing what your ears look like, it better optimizes the audio. I don't know. But now let's talk about the audio. So what do I use these for? Like I said, Final Cut Pro 11 video editing. This video that you're watching now, I would have listened to it wearing my Beats Solo 4 to make sure the audio sounds good. I've used this for many hours already playing PlayStation 5. To be specific, I was playing Battlefield 6 on the PS5. And Battlefield 6 on the PS5 with these, it is an incredible experience. Now, I want to talk about that in depth, but I want to tell you how I've got this connected. So right now I've got my monitor, which is connected to my Mac Mini using a USB-C connection. So that's how I've got the connection for video and audio to my Mac Mini. The Samsung monitor has Bluetooth. So see those two speakers on the side, those Sonos? I've got those with a Sonos sub in the floor. That's a Bluetooth paired speaker. Actually, it's a set of speakers, but it acts like one Bluetooth pairing. My other Bluetooth pairing are these Beats Solo 4. So all I got to do is turn on my Solo 4, and then on my monitor, it'll say connect the Solo 4. I say yes, and then I'm good to go. So these, if I'm in my Mac Mini, I'm using these for Mac OS. If I flip over to my PS5, which is hiding back there, then these will be the headphones that I'll use for my PS5. And this is where these really shine. So the way that these fit on your ear, it does what's called passive noise cancellation, meaning that it's a fancy way of saying that there's not noise cancellation, but the way that these connect with your ears and the padding, it does block out some of the noise. And it does. I mean, you put these on your head and you're talking, you can hear yourself. You're at a lower level because you've got these blocking out some of the sound. Likewise, walk around, have a TV or something going on in another room and walk past it, and you'll notice that this passive noise cancellation in the Beats Solo 4 works. And there's no software or anything, it's just the padding and the way it connects with your ears so well. So it does an incredible job. So do I miss not having noise cancellation? Keep in mind, my other headset has it. My Sonos Ace has it. Works great. But do I miss it with this? No. And now if I was in say I was in a subway or somewhere where there's a lot of noise and people yelling, in that scenario, I would want a headset, if I was placing a phone call with it, that had active noise cancellation. But for using it in a quiet home office, there's absolutely no need to have active noise cancellation, in my opinion. And I've got the value add of on the ear instead of over the ear, so my ears don't get hot. So this is exactly what I wanted. And speaking of the audio quality, because man, this guy needs to hurry up. Go ahead and talk about the audio quality. Well, now I'm going to talk about the audio quality. So these things, and I'm using Battlefield 6 on the PlayStation 5 as an example, these things do a phenomenal job with the audio. And again, I'm paired Bluetooth to my Samsung smart display, smart monitor, whatever you want to call it. And then I've got my PS5 plugged into my Samsung monitor. But these are Bluetooth connection to the Samsung monitor, which then is connected to the PS5 by way of HDMI. When you're wearing these in a game like PS5, when you're wearing these playing a game on the PS5 like Battlefield 6, it's easy to tell where the other people are. Battlefield 6 is a first-person shooter if you don't know that. But you can tell if somebody's coming up behind you, to the side, in front of you. It's very realistic. It helps with situational awareness because when I'm not using my headphones, I'm using the left and right speaker and then the sub. And that works great. But this, you have an enhanced level of being part of that environment. You feel like you're there. What you're hearing going on around you is very it's hyper realistic. The audio quality and clarity of this is exceptional. Now I will go ahead and tell you, and keep in mind the price point, and again, expand this video's description and click the link there to find current pricing and the various color options. But the price of this compared to Sonos Ace, this is radically less expensive. But even though it is, again, Beats by Dre is an Apple product. So this is an Apple product. You're getting a premium set of headphones for, in my opinion, a very reasonable price, especially when they're on sale. I picked mine up, they happen to be on sale. And that was one of the reasons why I went ahead and bought them, because I want to keep my Sonos Ace in another room where I've got a sound bar where I watch TV if I need to do the audio swap. And then these will just stay permanently positioned beside this computer. But the audio quality, the bass in these is good. The highs are good. Even when I max this out, now the max volume, depending upon your hearing level, the max volume can be pretty freaking loud. And actually I found that max volume is too loud for me. If I want it, when I'm playing Battlefield 6, immersive, I want to hear the explosions and all of that, I'll put it to about 70 to 80%, and I feel completely immersed within the Battlefield 6 game. So the cool thing is, though, if you do max out the volume, you know, a lot of budget headsets, or headphones, I guess I should say, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't, but it becomes muddy if you max out the volume of other headphones. Sometimes the audio just becomes muddy, distorted, whatever way you want to describe it. But these don't. These at a lower volume or max volume, they maintain that consistently clear audio. Now, I'm not going to say the audio, especially dialogue, if you're watching a movie or anything like that, I'm not going to say it's a one-for-one with Sonos Ace, for example, because that's the headphones that I would compare this to, because that's the other pair of headphones that I own. But this is by no means a slouch. I mean, this you could use these and not desire any other type of headphone, in my opinion. Now, I still use the Sonos Ace, and I love the Sonos Ace because of the audio swap with my televisions where I've got Sonos sound bars. So it's nice there. The dialogue is clear. They work great for that. But for day-to-day gaming, video editing, watching a few YouTube videos on my computer, these are excellent. And actually, I like them more for that use case than the Sonos Ace, simply because these are on the ear. So I can keep these on my ears for potentially a few hours, and my ears don't heat up because they're not, I don't have an around the ear. This is on the ear. So they've done a really good job. And obviously this is USB-C, as in Charlie, USB-C charging. And the battery life on these, I mentioned it earlier, it's crazy. I mean, it's on paper, it's well over a day. The most I'm ever going to use these consecutively is probably a couple hours. So the fact that I get that amazing a battery life, I don't even potentially have to charge these except every week or so. So super nice. And these do what's called spatial audio. So if you're concerned about, if you're interested in headphones that'll be compatible with spatial audio, this is a great option to consider. And again, lossless audio as well. If you tether them using the, I think you call it a 3.5 millimeter or the USB-C, both of those cables were included. If you tether them to your Mac or to your iPhone, you're going to get, for supported soundtracks, you're going to get lossless audio. So, I mean, for me, I'm not an audiophile or whatever you want to call it, but for me, using these with Bluetooth makes sense. I don't want to have to physically tether myself. But if you're the type person that you've got to hear every little detail within the audio, like I said, you can hardwire these with 3.5 millimeter or the USB-C. And I think the color looks good. Blue, obviously I like blue, so that inevitably is the color that I got. But expand this video's description and click the link there, and you can find all the other colors of Beats Solo 4 as well. But I didn't mention it earlier, but there is padding on the top where it sits on your head. These in no way feel cheap. And there were some reviews I would say, that were trying to paint these as being just a very cheap, inexpensive feeling headset. And I don't get that. I mean, even when I wave them around, I'm not hearing clickety clackety. And I mean, yes, it's using plastics. It's got some metal here, but it feels very premium. And if I'm curious, if you don't think that the Beats Solo 4 feels premium, why? Tell me. Like I said, it does not have detachable ear pads. So, over time, if you're using these aggressively, if those wear out, I don't know if there's a way to replace them. So, I mean, but they feel very well made. But I want to hear, why would you think that these are not premium fit and finish? Tell me. I want to know, because I bought these, and like I said, I almost hesitated and didn't buy them. What made me go ahead and pull the trigger was the deep discount for the holidays. And I'm glad I did, because these are phenomenal. But I'm curious what negative things you could say about the Beats Solo 4. So if you're shopping for the Beats Solo 4, these are just my opinions. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything or persuade you to go one direction or the other. But being someone that owns both the Sonos Ace and now the Beats Solo 4, these are perfectly good. And I don't feel like I've cut any corners. Like I said, for my use case, these are actually better for the video editing and the PS5 gaming, where I'm going to be potentially wearing them for a longer period of time. And then I just use my Sonos Ace for TV watching, but where I've got my Sonos sound bars. But yeah, these are great. And again, if you're shopping for them, expand this video's description and click the link there. That helps to support my channel and videos like this one. And if you got any questions or comments, comment below, and I'll try to post some follow-up videos to respond to your question or questions. So yeah, these are super nice, and I didn't talk about it. I'll go ahead and tell you, it's got volume up, that little B logo on the left, the Beats logo, volume up, volume down. You can pause, you can play. I think you could do a few other things. These will function if you want to use them as a headset for your phone. This does have built-in microphone, so you can use this to conduct phone calls using your phone as well. So it's more than just a headset. I mean, it's also, you know, got a microphone built in, so you can use it for calls. Now, if you're curious though, at least currently, the microphone in this will not work for a PlayStation 5 mic. I still use the microphone built into the PS5's controller for talking during a gaming session, but these for phone calls, obviously the microphone works for that. But it's just, these are great. These have exceeded my expectations. And like I said, I owed everyone an honest review of Beats Solo 4. And I've been using these for about a day and haven't had any issues. It's been extremely positive. The audio is very solid. And if the situation changes, I'll tell you here. So subscribe, ring that bell, and check out all my videos. But if it doesn't change, I'll post a follow-up review as well and tell you what it's doing maybe a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, and just keep you abreast of what I think and continue to think about the Beats Solo 4. Thanks for your viewership. Be sure to subscribe, and when you do, ring that bell to be notified whenever I post another video. Y'all have a good day, and don't forget, expand this video's description and then click the link there to find where to order the Beats Solo 4 in all the different colors online. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Iric Guy here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.